Start Curtis Jones and you will lose. How is he still on our team in 2025? He's slow and he makes horrible decisions. It's painful to watch him play. What I dislike the most about certain parts of our fanbase is that people tend to find scapegoats in our team and then give them all the hate and criticism. We have seen it with Darwin, we have seen it with Henderson, but nowadays, the player that I see getting the most undeserved hate is Curtis Jones. But today, I want to show you why that's wrong, why Curtis deserves praise and not blame, and why he's more important to this team than many people give him credit for. So first, what's with the criticism? People say he doesn't do enough or he makes a lot of mistakes. They always point out when he loses possession or when the midfield looks sloppy, it's always his fault. And yes, he does make mistakes, but so do every other player in our team. What many fail to look at is what he does bring to the team. He brings energy, drive, ball retention, ball carrying, composure under pressure. When he plays, he wants the ball. He wants to win for the team. And those things matter. But some people fail to acknowledge that and only look at his mistakes and his negative parts of his gameplay. So let's look at some numbers from this season. His dribble success rate so far this season has been 100% in the Premier League, with 1.3 successful dribbles per 90 minutes. His passing has also been reliable this season, having an almost 90% passing accuracy in the Premier League. And that's not just easy passes, but retention under pressure. It's important to look at these stats, but that's not even all. We cannot forget that he has already had some crucial moments for us this season alone. For example, in the match against Arsenal, McAllister was struggling with Arsenal's high-intensity pressing. But when Slot decided to bring on Curtis Jones in the 61st minute, the midfield immediately looked different. More confident on ball, more in control. Liverpool starting seeing more possession, more composure, and that changed, helped us sell, calm the game down, and eventually set up for the moment that won us the match. And do you remember how we let a 2-0 lead slip against Bournemouth early on in the season? Then late Federico Chiesa comes on, scores in the 88th minute. Well, Curtis' contribution in that match off the bench was crucial in helping us rebuild shape, retain possession, calm things down, and create chances. He also played a huge role in that Chiesa goal, which is very underrated by some of our fans. And you know what's crazy? All I have talked about so far in this video is only from this season alone. So let's not forget about his assist to Salah last season against Brighton, in the game that for many assured us that we were going to win the Premier League. And let's totally not forget about the Merseyside derby last season, where he stood up for our fans and took on 3 Everton players on his own. He has a lot of passion for this club, and with Trent leaving, he's the only real Scouser left in our main squad. He puts in a shift wherever the coach needs him. As a sub, as a right back, as a cam, as a 6, we need players like him in the squad. He has the right mentality for a squad player. So why do many fans tend to hate on Curtis Jones? Well, I think people have very high expectations for him, with him being a young academy lad. And when things aren't perfect, he's one of the first that people talk about. Also, his roles often demand risk. You know, carrying the ball, trying to break lines, getting the ball in difficult positions. Of course, things sometimes go wrong, but people forget that risk brings rewards too. And Curtis Jones often rewards us. He's not always in the easiest spot in games. Coming on as a sub, playing out of position, changing roles, sometimes deeper, sometimes more advanced. It's not easy, but he always tries his best. And in conversations about Curtis Jones, people often bring up some stat about how Liverpool get worse results in the games that Curtis Jones starts. But this stat does not prove that Curtis Jones is at fault for Liverpool getting worse results in those games. Curtis is a squad player, and in a lot of the games that he has started, Liverpool have rotated the squad or had a damaged squad due to injuries. He, for example, started a lot of games in the 2020/21 season where we had an injury crisis in both the midfield and defense. Even though he started and we may have gotten worse results, it's not his fault, and that is a perfect example of how this stat is just misleading. Curtis Jones isn't perfect. He does mistakes, and I'm not trying to deny that. But hating on a player that has burning passion for this team, gives his all, and is the perfect squad player is just wrong. So the next time someone wants to blame Curtis when he makes a mistake, be sure you give him credit when he does something good as well. He's actually one of the most underrated players in our current squad, and I'm hoping that he comes back fast from his current injury, because the team needs him.